Tosin here. Do you ever have one of those days when nothing is going right? Maybe you get up on the wrong side of the bed, or you're at a coffee at home and you have to rush to get to work, or traffic makes you late, and then something happens, or someone says the wrong thing to you, and boom, you explode. Well, you are not the only one who has bad days here and there. So do our friends, coworkers, and guests who come to our city. So think about it. Guests are in unfamiliar territory, depending upon us for basic services like transportation, food, and a place to sleep. They may even be tired of the people they are traveling with. Now, who hasn't had to deal with that? So maybe they got up on the wrong side of an unfamiliar bed, no breakfast, tried to pack too many things into one day, and then they run into you. Something goes wrong, and boom! You, my friend, are faced with a recovery situation, a unique opportunity to turn a negative experience into a positive one, and even exceed expectations if you handle it well. The challenge to any recovery situation is to resolve the problem before the guest leaves your 8-foot space. In today's class on recovering from difficult situations, we will be relying on some of the skills learned in our Get Connected class. Skills like active listening, using the other person's words back to them, and clarifying their real needs. In difficult situations, you'll need to apply those skills and more. You will also need to maintain control under pressure, analyze what's really going on, deal with emotions first, clarify needs and take action, make amends, and leave them feeling good. Did you know that our thoughts control our emotions, or that our emotions trigger our behaviors? It's true. What you think tells you how to feel, and in turn, what to do. It's natural. We all do it. Think plus feel equals do. That leads to a key question. Can somebody make you mad? Can I make you mad? Most people would say yes. If people are rude, obnoxious, insulting, or unkind, that can make you mad, right? Guess what my answer is to that? It's probably not the most popular one. No. No. Nobody can make you mad. You are in control of you. You can't let somebody else control whether or not you're going to be mad. It's up to you. Why? Because you choose your own thoughts. Everything you do is your choice. You choose it, you decide it, you control it. Instead of allowing someone to control your thoughts, try to get into analysis mode rather than reactive or anger mode. What happened before this? Is this a long string of events that's driving that anger? If you can look at the real issue and try to think about and analyze what's happening instead of getting caught up in it, you can maintain control. Let's look at some tips on how to handle situations where emotions are on high. Number 1, treat the emotion first. Acknowledge that they are upset. Say something helpful and lead the tone to a lower level. Be upset on their behalf. How can you do that easily and simply? Well, repeat back the upset guest's key words, the ones that they are probably repeating and or shouting. Let's say you're working at a place where kids have an area to play, like a playground or a museum or even a restaurant waiting area. All of a sudden, 2 adults are screaming at the top of their lungs at each other, and you spot them. Once you get in between them and you ask what happened, you discover that one child hit the other, and the 2 parents have exchanged words in an aggressive tone. Well, of course, the best thing to do is to immediately separate the 2 adults. And if you can, take the most upset one behind the scenes or to another space to change the energy and get the dispute out of public view. Sometimes by changing location, even if it's just a few feet, it helps. Ask, once again, what happened and listen with empathy. You need to be upset on behalf of this person. The parent tells you that while they weren't looking, another child hit their child who came running up to them screaming with the mark on their arm. They want something done. Which one of these is a good empathy response? Well, you just never know what kids are going to do. Or, I know you're mad, but come on, you weren't watching your kid either. Or, there's no doubt you are outraged, and I'd be very upset if something like this happened to my child too. We will take care of this right away. Well, what about A? That's not a good one because you are acting like it's no big deal when clearly it's a huge deal to the parent. It makes it sound like you don't care and aren't going to resolve anything. How about B? I know you're mad, but come on. That's not the point. The point is that they felt wronged and it has affected their experience negatively. Now, C is an empathetic statement. You're not solving anything, but you're letting that person know you understand. And notice in C's response that there's a promise of action, which is what they said they wanted. By repeating that, they know that you, 1, heard them, and 2, are taking them seriously. So remember, use an empathy statement that helps the person vent and lets them know that you heard them. Never argue with the guest. You could win the argument and lose the guest forever. Let's move on to tip number 2. Clarify what the customer wants and take action. Now that you understand using empathy and treating the emotion first, you need to move the situation along and give them something to think about. Using our previous example, a good response would be to calmly say, "It sounds like you want to make sure something is done about the incident and it doesn't happen again. Is that right?" You can also try the "while I can't" formula. While I can't make up for the hurt your child has suffered, I can make sure the other parent understands that no matter what provoked the incident, we do not tolerate that type of behavior, and if any other incident happens, our management will be involved and we will ask them to leave. While I can't do X, I can do Y. There's also the bad news formula. While I can't make up for the hurt your child endured, I can make sure that you are not near that party for the rest of your visit, and then include any other considerations that you were able to grant. Maybe offer to move their name up the wait list. Bad news, but good news, and good news, and good news. Tip number 3, make amends. The definition for this is to compensate as if for an injury, loss, or insult. People can feel entitled to something when they feel that they have been treated unfairly or they feel they have been treated poorly. If you do have the option to offer extra help, or you know of a way to make this guest recognize that you've made an effort to make amends, now would be the time. Going back to our example, a statement that could help you make amends could be, "I'd like to make it up to you by recommending a great place for you to check out while you're here in town." Here's another one. "Sorry about all the stress, but if you need a great spot to relax, right by your hotel is a spot called Sister Cities Park. It has fountains, it's very green, with a pond for kids, and it always makes me feel good when I'm there." And finally, tip number 4, and we've mentioned this before, leave them feeling good. Remember that experiences are all about how you make people feel, and if they feel good or great, they will return. Use a statement like, "Thanks for coming in today. I know you had a bad thing happen, but I hope that we responded well enough for you to consider coming back. And know that any of us are available to help make your time with us great." So now you see how a difficult situation can actually be turned around to exceed expectations and set things back on track for a great visit to Philadelphia. Just remember the 4 tips. Treat the emotion first. Clarify what the customer wants and take action. Make amends and leave them feeling good. See you next time.
Congratulations! You are now one step closer to becoming a certified hospitality professional. This designation can be added to your resume, and the experience you'll gain will improve your customer service skills, build your confidence when interacting with the public, and increase your overall value as an employee.